Good evening, Facebook and YouTube. How you doing? I am Kendrick, the sports guy, and it is December 31st, 2025. We have made it to the end of another year. I am Kendrick, the sports guy. Good day to you. And guess what we're talking? You know, we're talking sports, but we're talking some of the top sports stories of 2025. And this list is strictly my top stories. There's no right or wrong answer. This is all debate and top sports debate. It ain't really necessarily debate. You're just talking about some of the sports stories that you thought or that I thought had the biggest impact on the sports world. But I'm not by myself tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I have a special guest. Well, he ain't really a special guest. He family. He family. You may not have seen him with me for a little bit, but he family. But before I bring him on, y'all know the drill. Come on in here. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as TFG Sports Media. Make sure you like and follow them both on Facebook. You can also follow me on Instagram at KDrick1969. And follow me on TikTok, Kendrick Henderson. If you don't want to act right, but we gonna keep it rolling. I told you, boy, the devil is a lie. All right, Wi-Fi, sit your ass down somewhere. Come in here and act like you got some doggone sense. Because you know we got family in the house. All right? Cool. Well, without further ado, I'm gonna bring in my good brother from another mother. And see, again, I done told you, Wi-Fi. I done told you, don't you do this to me right now. He coming. I promise you he coming. I promise you. I'm looking at him in the background. I'm looking at him in the background. And there you go. He finally showed up. What's up, Black? How you doing, brother?
What's up? What's going on, fam?
Man, you see me having to cuss this doggone Wi-Fi. You hear me having to cuss this Wi-Fi out already? We ain't even got started good. How you doing, brother?
Man, I'm doing all right. Limped my way to the end of the year.
I know, didn't we all, man? What a year it has been. 2025.
Yes, sir.
Before we even jump into what we're talking again, we're talking top sports stories, our top sports stories of 2025. Brother Black, just kind of give me a reflection on your thoughts of the year, both personally as well as just in general. 2025. What's your thoughts on it?
Man, I'm glad to see it coming to an end, and I'm glad I'm still standing. I, like many Americans, this has been a tough year, professionally, personally. We are in a new America, but we survived. Our people, we are still standing. We are here. And sports has been a great way to keep us distracted from the minutia and the nonsense that has been the daily grind from the administration. We all know that we're paying high prices on everything. Life is different now. And so sports has been that great escape in many ways for us. But yeah, I'm glad to still be standing, my brother.
And I echo a lot of what your sentiments that you said. It's definitely been a tough year for all of us as Americans, specifically Black and brown people.
Yes, sir.
Because and we're not gonna get political. This is not a political show. It's sports, but we know politics has been very a lightning rod to a lot of things that's happened in 2025, and so we are blessed to still be standing. But again, sports is what I mainly do. It's been a lightning rod for a whole lot of controversy too. We've had a whole lot of controversial stuff to go on in 2025 in sports that has kept sports fans talking. So we're going to talk about that. Make sure you guys come in and comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Also like and subscribe to the channel. That is Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as my guy, Real Talk for Real Men, Lee Black. Subscribe to his channel. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later on, about what's next for us in this social media world when it comes to content creators. But we'll get to that later. All right, let's get down to it. Top 5 sports stories of 2025. Brother Black was itching to do this with me because I told him I was probably going to do a show. He's like, yo, let me on. I want to do it. Because at first I was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to be up to it. I was like, you know what? Let's do it. So we're going to give you guys our top 5 sports stories of the year, not in any particular order. I know I'm gonna count down from 5 to 1. I don't know how Brother Black's gonna do his, but we're gonna start off with Brother Black. Let me get your I guess your number 5 sports story of 2025.
Ooh, I should have put together a much better list, to be honest. But I guess if I'm doing this off the top of my dome,
That's good. No
um,
problem.
you know what? I'm gonna go back to the beginning. The Eagles winning the championship, winning the NFL Super Bowl, because what a difference a year has made. If you've been following football, the Eagles don't have an identity right now. They still have a good record, but they don't look like the juggernaut that won the Super Bowl. And I was fully expecting them. They came back healthy. Now the chip is off his shoulder. And so I would say that's number 5 for me. Just I'm trying to go back to the beginning, how the year started. That was a big one for me.
And I had that on my list, but I had it way down. I didn't even have it in my top 5. But I think the biggest thing about that Super Bowl, which was Super Bowl 59, the Eagles, they prevented history to being made. If the Chiefs would have won that, they would have been the first team in NFL history to win 3 in a row. So the Eagles will always go down in history books for preventing. To kind of real talk, Brother Black, they kind of, no pun intended, they kind of ended the dynasty, because as we know, the Chiefs aren't in the playoffs. This will be the first time they've missed the playoffs in damn near 10 years.
Absolutely.
So I guess the beginning of the end, we could say, kind of started in that Super Bowl. Would you say?
Yes, sir. I agree 1,000%.
Yeah. So that was Brother Black's number 5. And you know what? I didn't put mine in no particular order either, but I'm going with number 5 is I'm starting with something that's pretty recent, the last couple of months. The football head coach, one of those years where I have never seen this many college football head coaches fired. We had LSU Brian Kelly fired, Penn State's James Franklin, UCLA's Deshaun Foster, Arkansas Sam Pittman, Auburn's Hugh Freeze, Oklahoma State's Mike Gundy, and Florida's Billy Napier. Just to name a few. There's some other ones too that's not as big name, but it was a lot of college football head coaches fired in the last 2 months. And I think it all kind of goes back to now we got a whole new ball game at that level. You got the EL where these college players can get paid a lot of money, and they also the transfer portal has definitely changed the landscape of college football. What's your thoughts on that, Brother Black?
Absolutely. And I think that what has lent itself to so many coaches changing teams. There's no sense of loyalty anymore, but how can you expect that when you think about these young players with the NIL deals, and in many cases, they're making millions. I feel like the love of the game has changed in many ways. And so coaches are taking advantage of the fact that if players can shift loyalties and move at their own whim, why should they stay loyal to a team and a school as well? And so we just, the old standard now where a coach is representative of a school and that becomes synonymous, that era's dead. I don't think it's ever coming back.
Yeah, and again, I think that college now, it's win at all costs, man. Let's go on, because it's a big business, and I think college coaches, unless you like a Nick Saban who got out the game due to he didn't want to deal with the NIL and the transfer portal, because now he's putting it on kind of an even playing field, because now the Alabamas, you can still get them big time recruits, but there's other schools out there that's willing to give these young men a little bit more money and say, hey, come over here and play this and that. So I agree with you, but I kind of like it, because I feel like if college coaches can make all this type of money, why not hold them to a higher standard? Why not say, look, if you ain't performing, we got to get you out of here. But they still making money too. The buyouts of Brian Kelly and James Franklin was ridiculous.
Oh, they throwing millions around, dude.
Yeah. It cost LSU $55 million to buy him out the rest of his
dead money.
Yeah, and I believe Penn State, it was like $49 million to buy out James Franklin the rest of his. So I don't feel sorry for coaches getting fired, ladies and gentlemen, because they okay. They gonna be all right.
They gonna be all right.
They land on their feet. So that was my number 5. on my top 5 sports stories of 2025. All right, brother Black, it's on you. What you got?
Ooh, and again, this is no particular order. I'm thinking of stories. You know what was revived for me in 2025? Boxing. Boxing. My interest in boxing was restored in many ways with the various different fights. You know, many of them was a joke, but the Terrence Crawford fight was legit. That was a legit fight. We had the Mike Tyson debauchery. Jake Paul continues to do his effery and foolishness. But I tell you
right.
what, I tuned into the Jamal Crawford fight, and it truly lived up for me anyway. It truly lived up to the hype. It was a beautiful fight.
You talking about Terrence Crawford and Canelo, right? You talking about the Canelo Terrence Crawford fight?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You
that
right.
Was everything. It was. How often now? When think back, how often in boxing have we had two heavyweights with that same level of stature and it live up to the hype for real? So that for me, it kind of rekindled my interest in boxing.
Yeah. You're right. It had been a while since we had two guys with that type of legendary status to meet each other. You know, unfortunately, the things they both met up in age, but they still could box. You know what I'm saying? I would have loved to see Crawford and Canelo probably 10 years earlier, but I was good with it anyway. Crawford is my dude. I think Bud he retired, by the way, but I don't think he's going to stay retired. I think he's going to come back. You know how boxing.
Money always brings him back, bro.
Yeah, right. And speaking of effery and foolishness, that Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua fight, I don't know if you watched that. I actually watched it after the fact. I didn't watch it the day of.
Same here. I didn't watch it live.
I didn't watch it live. So yeah, that's a lot of people was cheering for Jake Paul getting his ass whooped. But hats off to the Jake Paul making that. Hey, listen, this guy was a YouTuber. And now he owns his own promotion company, and he's making millions and millions of dollars. I ain't mad. I ain't mad at him. I don't think he's a boxer, but I ain't mad at him doing what he's doing.
I agree.
So hats off to Jake Paul. Hope you get your ass whooped again. Don't know who you're gonna fight next.
I agree.
I'll be there for it with some popcorn and a drink in my hand. So there you go. Number 4 on my list. Actually, I'm surprised you probably was gonna mention this one. This one to me could be number 1. The trade of Luka Doncic from the Dallas Mavericks to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's number 4 on my list. I be honest with you, Brother Black. This happened in February. I thought somebody was playing a doggone trick when I got my alert on my phone. I was like, okay, somebody is tripping. This can't happen. This can't be real. But yes, the Dallas Mavericks and now fired general manager Nico Harrison traded their 25-year-old 5-time All-Star, had just taken the Mavericks to the to the NBA Finals a year prior, for Anthony Street Clothes Davis, some other parts, and all that. And let's just say Dallas wasn't having it. Your thoughts on that? I think that's probably the biggest trade I think I can ever think of in the NBA. Your thoughts on that?
I agree. That was historic. That's why for me that would have been much further up on my list, because we had never seen anything like it. You literally trade a dude in his prime, and your logic behind it was that you didn't think he would have been in the shape enough. He's 25 years old. From what was reported, maybe he wasn't in the best shape. We know that he didn't play supreme defense, but listen to what you said. He had just taken you to the finals. So whatever else you want to think about his eating habits or whatever, this wasn't like he had fallen off in any kind of way.
Right.
And so you literally trade this guy in his prime, who's the face of the franchise, and for who is what you mentioned as well. For Anthony Davis, I ain't taking nothing away. Anthony Davis might go to the Hall of Fame. I don't know, but the best availability for him is he's never available.
Yeah, and he's not available now, Black. He's injured now.
I already know. And I don't even watch NBA anymore. That's a whole other conversation. To me, it's become unwatchable. But that's the point. You just brought up another point. Luka Doncic is box office, as Stephen A. Smith likes to say. So even from that standpoint, you traded a guy that was putting butts in seats that if nothing else, he's making your franchise money. That it made no sense whatsoever. I still don't understand the logic of it. I don't.
What Nico Harrison said at his press conference that he felt like they needed to get better defensively, and he felt like this trade was going to help them be a better. I know, Black. I know, Black. I know. That's kind of like when Jerry Jones said, and you know what? I'm not going to mention that because this is going to be one of my top 5.
No, okay, we probably got the same one. Okay,
you already know where I'm going, so I'll leave that for later on. But yeah, Nico Harrison was he was getting death threats. He couldn't go out in Dallas, and honestly, he deserved to be fired for pulling off that trade.
I agree.
It just doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense, and I think I'm not a Maverick fan. I'm not a Maverick hater, but as a Maverick fan, I would feel some type of way too, and I would have wanted him running out of here. Now, granted, they ended up with the #1 pick in the NBA draft and was able to get Cooper Flagg. But
which makes us believe, some of us believe that it's conspiracy.
Yeah,
because you just happen to luck your way into the #1 pick.
I already knew you was gonna go there.
I'm just, and I'm not saying what Cooper Flagg may become, but he's no Luka Doncic.
No, he's been balling the last couple of weeks, but he ain't Luka though. No, are you
he's
right?
Not Luka. No, so that's what I said. Maybe he does develop into something, but
yeah.
I don't see him developing into that. I just don't.
All right. So yeah, that was on my list. I think I said that was #4, Luka to the Lakers. And by the way, Luka has played pretty well. He's had some injuries here and there, but since he's been a Laker, he
got in shape. He got in shape.
He did. He got in shape. So there you have it. So that's my #4 top sports story of 2025. Brother Black, is on you.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay in basketball. Let's talk about the scandals. Let's talk about the scandals, and this is a twofer for me. One is the gambling scandal,
right,
which roped in my boy Chauncey
Billups, yeah,
and
Damon Jones.
So I'm still waiting, which I think that was politically motivated, but I'm waiting to see how that fits out because it was awfully coincidental that this happened right around the time when Mr. Orange agent had an issue with the NBA, and it was very odd that the head of the FBI stood on national TV and announced that he was indicting these named players.
Yeah.
But there's another scandal too that has quietly, and I don't follow basketball, so you the sports guy, you may bring me up to date. We don't hear any more about the Clippers and Kawhi Leonard because to me this is probably open and shut. What the fuck? What the hell are we?
No, you good, brother. You good?
Okay. Well, okay. So what the fuck are we talking about then? That we know they paid him on the side. That part is not in question. They paid Kawhi Leonard a side deal on the side to basically do nothing.
To circumvent the cap is basically what they're trying to.
We know this. Adam Silver or what are we doing here?
You know why it's not that big of a deal anymore, Black? Because the Clippers suck. The I'm just saying.
Okay.
I'm just saying. You know, the biggest story coming out of there is they got rid of Chris Paul. They sent him home, and released him. You know what I'm saying?
And that was dirty. But okay.
Yeah. So that's the reason why you're probably not hearing that big of a fuss about it because the Clippers they ain't clippering. Well, actually, they are clippering. They being the Clippers that we know them to be at this point.
Absolutely.
You know? And I'm not a big, and it's funny you mentioned that, Black. I was telling a couple of guys, young fellas, this too. I'm not a big NBA guy like I used to be because it bores me. I don't really watch it like that until probably the playoffs. I don't really watch it because it's the game. The game bores me.
Me too.
And I only like a few players. I don't have a connection to a team like I used to have when MJ was with the Bulls. I was a Bulls fan, obviously.
Yep.
Because MJ's my guy, but I haven't had any connection really to that league after he retired. Well, I say after Kobe retired. Put it that way.
Right.
I pretty lost all connection after Kobe retired. from there because I like Kobe. So that there you have it. So that's a good one. And I hadn't heard much more about Kawhi. This gambling thing is an ongoing situation. Chauncey Billups, obviously, he's out on bond. He pleaded not guilty. I don't think Chauncey is going to be implicated in any of this.
Me neither, but the damage is done.
The damage is done. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
there will always now be an asterisk next to his name. And if you're a team, could you hire him with that looming and hanging over his head?
Right. Yeah. And you know, Chauncey, we never known for him to be in any type of craziness or anything like this. But this is the thing, when gambling and sports have always laid together. I don't know why people are such shock. Gambling and sports have always dated one another.
Thank you.
So I think the basketball, I guess, is probably the one sport you know when we had that big issue with that Tim Donaghy, that referee. Back years ago, I mean I think that kind of exposed the NBA for what it was at that point.
Absolutely.
But I don't know why people so much up in arms, because now you got gambling, you got gambling companies that do sponsoring professional sports.
Absolutely.
So they in hand. So you're gonna have some under the table shenanigans going on. So I don't know why people are surprised. But again, as conspiracy theorists say, they always felt like sports was rigged. Me personally, I don't feel that way, but I understand those feelings. All right, let's get to my number 3 on this list. And I actually had to go back and do some looking, and this one I actually moved some people around. I got a whole bunch, but I had to put this one on here because this dude is a lightning rod when it comes to sports debate. Stephen A. Smith at number 3 signs that 5-year, $100 million deal with ESPN.
Good choice.
He also got his production company off the ground. He's now, he's doing his his podcast, this and that. But he has been catching hell for the last couple of months because people think that he go hard after black women and black men, but he don't go hard after the others.
Right.
But he is the lightning rod of sports debate topics. What you think about Stephen A. Smith, Brother Black?
I love that you selected this one. And he's definitely that. Whatever you think about him, in his own words, he's box office. Clearly, his show has been the number 1 in the ratings for over 10 years. So I can't deny that he's earned his money. I'm not mad with him that he got paid, because when I look at what they paid Pat McAfee and some of the others, I'm not mad with that brother on any level for standing on 10 toes down to get what he believes he's worth. He's worked his way up to being that person, like him or love him, but I do have some issues with him personally. Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm one of those that absolutely do believe that in many cases, he's not by himself, but we talk in sports, that he does seem to do what we too often do. We are too often to cannibalize our own. And you know me, that's one of my big pet peeves. All I ask is you to be fair all across the board. Don't remain silent when you see the others doing some of the same things, but you're right there, Johnny, on the spot, when you're able to call out us, Kamala Harris, and because he delves even past sports stories and he's quick to jump in there. But then where's your commentary on the Kirk and Agent Orange and this, that, and the other? You seem to kind of go light there. And so I do have an issue with him on that. I personally do think he could have done a lot more to save Molly, to keep her on the show. I do think he left her in the cold. I do believe that Stephen A. is that dude that is all about him. The same way he fucked over Max Kellerman, I think he left Molly onto her own device. You can't make me believe that in negotiating for your own contract, you could not have said, she's important to me. She's a part of the fabric of this show. She's a part of the brand. I want her treated right. I think he abandoned her in many ways and left her to her own devices. And I think for Stephen A. Smith, I think he will fuck anybody over if it means better ratings for his show, because that's important to him.
Hey, man, I agree with 100% everything you said. I definitely don't knock Stephen A's hustle. I don't knock his drive. I don't knock his story because he worked his way up. He
Mhm.
started out, you know what I'm saying? He was at the Philadelphia Inquirer as a sports journalist for a while. Then he became a columnist, a sports
Mhm.
columnist, which that's big for those that don't know. When you become a sports columnist at any newspaper, you've made it. That's you basically write. That's you write your own columns. That's it.
That's right.
No,
That's
nobody
right.
edits it. That's yours. So he did that, and you know, I respect his hustle. I respect his game. For working his way up, but I don't respect some of the way he does it. And I agree with
Mhm.
you. You can tell it's all about him. Uh,
Yep.
he's he's entertaining to a certain extent, but I call him Screaming A. Smith because he screams too much for me
Yep.
at this
Me
point.
too.
But I get it. He has a shtick that works. It's been
Yep.
working for ESPN for quite a while now. And people still watch him. You can say what you want about him. I don't really watch Stephen A anymore like that.
I don't either.
I watch his clips. I don't really watch
Me too. I
ESPN
watch
per
Get
se.
Up. I opt
Yeah.
for Get Up in the morning.
Yeah. So, but I definitely think that, yeah, I think he needs to stick. I hate to say that because I think we're more than just sport. I
Right.
think,
I know where you're
you know what I'm
going.
saying? You know where I'm
Right.
going? Because
Right.
I
Yep.
don't want to say he should just, but I
Right.
think he's crossing over into politics where he's really putting himself out there
Correct.
and he's not knowing what the hell he's talking about half the time. So I think you best to leave that to the people that know. I get it, you got an opinion, but some of the stuff he say, like, yo, bro,
Because can I say this, brother?
you totally don't get it. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Because you know what I see in him? I see him reaching for lanes that he don't belong in. And that's where I knew he was going with that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go there and say stick to sports.
Right.
I'm not that person. I think you have every right to comment on whatever. I'm an opinionated SOB, but
right. Me too.
I think Stephen A suffers from something I see far too often that brings people down. He wants to be out front on everything.
Yep.
He's spreading himself too thin, in my opinion, where you're in General Hospital and you've got a podcast and you've got a column and you've got a show and you think you can be an actor, you think you could be a politician. At some point, you dilute your own brand so much that now what the fuck do you stand for? I'm of the mindset that do something really, really well. And if you do that thing well enough, other doors absolutely will open for you. But when you think you're good at everything and you want to be the face of everything, then to me, you start to lose credibility because of, like you said, you don't know enough about politics to be veering in that lane just because you're popular. And they have you on CNN and you've been a guest on a few political talk shows doesn't mean you understand the ins and outs of what's happening in that game. And then to shit on somebody like Jasmine Crockett, you're doing more harm than good, bro. Come on now.
Yeah, man. And it's crazy. But again, like him, love him or hate him. I mean, he is that dude for ESPN and Disney. He is the moneymaker. Like he's only I can only stand him in doses and small doses at that. So yeah, that's number 3 on my list. All right, Brother Black, what you got?
I'm gonna stay in the same lane of polarization because I could go a few other places too. Because I'm saving my number one story. I know what that is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold that in, but I'm gonna stay in the lane of polarizing sports personalities. How about the TNT crew moving to ESPN?
Yeah, that's on my list.
And look, let me be clear. I don't know what it is, bro. It's not the same.
Oh, you don't think so?
I can't put for me.
Okay.
I can't put my finger on it. I love that ESPN is giving them a lot of leeway. I have watched them because let me be transparent. I don't watch the games. I'm like you. I don't start following the NBA until it gets to the playoffs. The game itself, no defense, running up and down the court, shooting threes. It doesn't compute for me. But once football is over and then that's gone,
Right.
and now I'm forced to watch something else. I'll kind of start getting to basketball. But I watched the TNT because I really wanted to see if the chemistry was still there. I can't put my finger on it, my brother, but you know what? Sometimes change is a change, and for me, I like that. From what I'm told, they brought a lot of the same crew from the TNT family on over there.
Yeah, they still in Atlanta. They still actually come out of the Atlanta studio.
And I don't know if it's just me being get off my lawn, old guy myself. I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about it that doesn't feel the same. And when I've tuned in, I get where they're still trying to be loosey-goosey, and they're still themselves, but something doesn't feel the same. And again, I don't know if it's just me having to adapt and adjust to the fact that they're on a new network, a new home, and maybe internally and subconsciously, I feel a loss, but they don't feel the same for me.
Do you think that the content has changed? Do you think they may have? Do you think they've toned it down a little bit? Is that some of it, you think?
A little bit, but you know what I kind of see? I felt like TNT was a renegade. I feel like that they've been brought into this big conglomerate, and now they're part of this machine. I feel like even for some of them, subconsciously, they know they're a part of a machine, whereas before, sometimes it's good to operate as an outlaw, to where you have the license to do your own thing. I'm gonna use myself as an example. My platform, it's not monetized. It's not even close to being monetized, but it gives me a certain level of freedom to say what the fuck I want to say in the way I want to say it, and to have complete control over it, to where I'm my authentic self, as opposed to if I joined a bigger thing where now there are definitive rules, that lines I can't cross, and it feels like there's a line now that, although invisible and told, we're going to give you some leeway, but even as I'm reading, this is just today that they're talking about Charles Barkley is in hot water because he made a comment about Roger Goodell. And that
was it the comment about the NFL being greedy for playing Christmas Day games?
Yes. And so part of that machine, they're now subjected to, when Charles says something off the rails, which we know he's going to be Charles.
No, he's going to do it. Yeah.
Charles going to be Charles. That now you're facing the wrath, and there's always Big Brother looking over the shoulder. That that at any point, that are they going to call him in and say, "Hey, Charles, now tone it down"? Whereas at TNT, it just seemed like they had. I've been watching them for years, and there's something there that's just missing for me.
And I think I can see your point, because it does feel a little different. Because I think we, as humans, we're creatures of habit, and when we get used to seeing a particular individual or show on a certain place, and when it moves, it does feel like, okay, I know it's still them, but it's just something different. It ain't the same nostalgia. It ain't the same I haven't really felt that way, Brother Black, but now that you mention it, you're probably going to have me really looking at it a little bit more from a different view,
right?
Just to see if it really is. Yeah, because that's the best pregame. That's the best pregame show. Going.
Yeah,
they hands down. They are the ish.
Yes.
When you talk about pregame stuff, whatever on TNT, they was just it. The chemistry was just it. So I wonder how much does ESPN have when it comes to any type of decisions made on this show. I don't think they have a whole lot, but I guarantee you there is probably some things that they probably can't do on ESPN that they did on TNT.
It's owned by Disney, bro. It's owned by Disney.
Yeah, So I'm sure they are limited in some
Right.
things that they
Right.
can't do. But I'm
Right.
gonna definitely watch it from a different lens because I can honestly say I hadn't really seen a change, but maybe I
Gotcha.
just hadn't looked deeper. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So I'm definitely gonna check it out. But that was on my list. It didn't make my top 5. It was definitely in my
What's up?
top 10.
What's up?
I did say NBA says goodbye to TNT, which it is weird not seeing the NBA on TNT too, by the way.
Yes.
I've watched it on Amazon Prime and all that, and it's just like, whoa,
It's not the same.
It's not the same. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, number 2 on my list. Man, and it was tough to narrow this down. Because we're gonna talk about some other ones I wrote down that I didn't make my top 5.
Okay.
But number 2 on my list is the polarization and the NFL draft slide of Shedeur Sanders.
That's my number 1. So that's my number 1.
That has been polarizing. You know the story. Everybody knows Shedeur. Probably the top. If it wasn't him, Cam Ward and he were the top 2 quarterbacks, in my opinion, coming out. There is no way Shedeur Sanders should have been in the 5th round pick. But anyway, you know the story. He is now starting for those damn Cleveland Browns because of injuries and trades. And, Joe Flacco was traded away. Kenny Pickett was traded away. Dylan Gabriel got injured. And now Shedeur was the last man standing. I already know Brother Black got a whole lot to say about this. So I'm going to give you the floor, brother. This is your number 1, but you can talk about it now because it was number 2 on my list. Let me know your thoughts on this Shedeur Sanders and all this.
Yes. So for me, I typically only watch the first round of the NFL draft. And I'm one of those looky-loo people, to be honest with you, because I don't typically follow college players, enough to know who's doing what. I literally tune in on draft night. I follow a team. I've always been a fan of Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I watch Miami, Michigan. So I watch teams, but I'm full transparency. But when the draft comes, and we all know that he had been touted, his talent was there. The slide, that was number 1. That was just like we said about Luka Doncic. I don't think we've ever seen that. As far down as he slid,
No, I don't. I can't recall seeing one that
was painful to watch right from the outset. Now let's get to the fact that he's there. What I watched, my brother, from another week after week after week. You the sports guy, you know better than me, but I feel like they sabotaged this young man. I feel like Stefanski and them didn't want him. And again, by sheer circumstances, he ended up finally being able to come in and play. And I truly wonder, fuck that. I believe had they installed him much earlier and truly integrated talent around him, they wouldn't be in the fucking place they're in right now. He clearly has the talent. But even when they threw him in, they threw him to the Wolves, his O-line admitted that he had never taken any first reps. To see him come in, they was, like, what the fuck do we do? So they've set this young man up to fail. I hope that fucker Stefanski loses his job, number 1. So I don't know who didn't want him, the owner, the coach, or whoever. I hope he loses his job. But I'm very proud of Shedeur and how he's handled himself. Now, let me be clear. I'm not all high on Shedeur. He needed some of this to be this was a matter of humbling, to humble himself. And what I hope is learned from this, you fathers out there who have sons that are going to play, and whether it's football, basketball, or whatever, because if you follow these stories, many of these famous players, they have sons. Take a step back. Don't be so vocal. I love to a certain extent what Deion did, because he did what any parent do. You want to make sure your kid. I don't have a problem with him taking advantage of your name, but it's a way to do it to where you don't hurt the kids. Look at what LeBron done to Bronny. Look at what you done to Shedeur. There's a line that shouldn't be crossed. so that you don't have your kids set up to be hated. And you know what I liken this to? In a regular, everyday corporate America job, when I worked in an office, and somebody comes up to me all the time showing me pictures of their ugly fucking kids. Every time you look up, look at my son, look at my son. I don't even know your kids, and I end up hating those sons of bitches. So, Dion, let these kids stand on their own 2 feet.
That's a perfect analogy, man. I couldn't understand it. Only Lee Black could say it that way. I couldn't pull that one off. But man, yeah, you know, I didn't want him to go to Cleveland, point blank. I just thought that's where quarterbacks go to die. Anyway, that's quarterback cemetery. And I still don't think he will finish his career in Cleveland. Yes. But I do know Kevin Stefanski should be out of there because he handled this whole quarterback situation. He didn't handle it correctly. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that he sabotaged the young man, but I would say that he didn't put him in a position to succeed. I would put it that way. He didn't really get any first team reps during training camp. That you know, most 5th round draft picks don't. I get that. But you had 5 quarterbacks in camp. So that's telling me it was an open competition anyway. So why not give all of them some first team reps? You feel me? You didn't have a starter in place. So why not give the kid some first team reps as well?
You know,
but he's the only one that didn't get them. So
that's crazy.
That's crazy to me. So I think Stefanski didn't handle this well at all. Now, let me say this about Shedeur. I love Shedeur, but he do have some things he need to work on.
True.
I'm talking about quarterback-wise.
True.
I'm not talking about him personally. I'm talking about his game.
True.
And I said this when he was at Colorado. I said he holds the ball too damn long.
True.
He tries to hit the home run all the doggone time. He can't do that. Because at the NFL level, you're going to get exposed.
Right.
And he's been exposed a little bit. Let's go and be honest. I like Shedeur, but but the things that he need to work on can be fixed. That's it's fixable. What I'm talking about is fixable. So he has the talent, he has the IQ. He just has to be put in the right situation, in the right system. And that's any young quarterback, not just Shedeur. That's any young quarterback needs to be put in the right situation for them to succeed.
So question, brother. Opinion. I agree with you. I don't think he finished it. Where would you like to see him go? Because here's the thing now. We've got a lot of injuries in the NFL, and 2026 is going to look different. There's some major blows to quarterbacks that won't be able to start. Where would you like to see? Because I have an idea where I would love to see him go. Where would you like to see him go?
If you would have asked me this a month ago, I would have said the Raiders, but I don't even want him near the Raiders. They got too much. Yeah, they got a lot. It ain't a lot to work with that.
Because
Brady. But let's be honest, Brady is a Fox sportscaster. He ain't. How much time is he going to be around? He's not going to be around the team.
Go ahead. Okay.
So I would have said the Raiders. I think Arizona would be a good fit for him at this point because I think Kyler Murray is out of there. From all I think they're going to get rid of Kyler Murray eventually, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in Arizona. I think that would be a good place for him. Another one that I just thought about is Atlanta.
So you took my Kenny.
And the reason why I say that because I don't know if I don't know if Michael Penix Jr. is gonna. I mean, he's had quite a few knee injuries, and he had them in college. Let me read this comment by my good brother Steven Jackson real quick. He says Shedeur Sanders is special. Just keep watching. Quarterback IQ.
I agree, Steven. I agree, Steven.
Yeah,
I agree. He's special talent. But Kenny, you put that man on the Falcons, they become relevant. They become relevant again. Put that man in Atlanta. I think it's the right city, the right town, even the right coach. I hope they don't get rid of the coach. They need the right quarterback that's young. Like you said, he got shit that needs to be fixed, but he needs that right mentor coach behind him and an opportunity to play and not have to worry about looking over his shoulder. You've named 2 best places for him because I agree, Colin, you've had your time. You made your money. I ain't mad for Kyle.
Right.
Arizona, but my first pick would be coming into Atlanta. And my third spot, look, Patrick Mahomes is going to be out for a while. Can you imagine him playing for Andy Reid?
Hey, I didn't even think about Kansas City because I didn't even think about that. The only thing I don't think is Shedeur eventually wants to be that dude, and we
I
know
agree.
Patrick Mahomes.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but I get it.
That's why I
kind of
agree.
like that one. I like it, but
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. You know you ain't gonna be the man there.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he didn't want to go to Baltimore,
Right.
Shedeur, because you
Right.
know Lamar
Man,
ain't going
Lamar.
anywhere. He's not going to probably play a whole lot. But
I'm just thinking of it from the standpoint of a ready-made system.
Yeah.
With a coach who is the right temperament to bring that talent
along. And Andy Reid is a quarterback coach. He molds young quarterbacks. You're definitely right about that. But I definitely don't want him to stay in Cleveland. But if he does stay in Cleveland, get Kevin Stefanski ass out of there.
Get rid of the coach.
Get him out of there.
What would happen if they bring in Dion? What if they offer Dion money?
I don't think Coach Prime, health-wise, I don't think he can take that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think, just as far as him being in Colorado right now, I think that the grind of being a college coach is big. Just think about it. I don't, and I don't think Coach would want to do that. But I could be wrong. Because he's coached, that's the only coach Shedeur has ever had. Coach
Prime anyway. He just went public with Karuchi Tran, so he's still bagging bad.
Somebody said that they called the kids called a stepmom or something. I read something like that. I'm like, what the hell?
I ain't mad at that man. He give me hope. If he
give both of us mid 50-year-old men that's got born days coming up hope that we can find us a little young tender that'll take care of us in our tender years or our golden years, as they say. Okay,
brother, we still in demand.
Well, we go see. It's a new year upon us, so damn it, we better be.
That's right.
All right. That was my number 2, and I think I stole your thunder. But you can continue.
But I got one. I got an honorable mention.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm so glad you're doing this, man. I love talking about this shit. I love this. You know what's surprising? That I don't know if it was on your list or not. We haven't mentioned King James.
He wasn't nowhere on my list.
No. So this is why he's an honorable mention, because you know what? When I look at 2025, the story for me is he's been a non-factor. Have you ever seen a year since he came into the league where LeBron James has been a non-factor?
That's a very good point.
That for me is part of the story. And as I don't watch the NBA, but you know what I've come to realize? What does he do, Kenny? Because him being him, he wants to go out, I'm sure, with all of the fanfare. This is King James, for God's sake. He wants to be celebrated from night to night. This man's, when he scored, beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he stopped the fucking game to make sure you knew that he was the king. He's been relatively quiet. He's clearly not the number one option in LA anymore. There's all this talk about trade value, because if you really want to be serious in LA, you can't rely on him anymore. He's still great, whatever you want to say about his talent, can get you 18 to 20 points a game, but he's been a non-factor. King James has been a non-factor for 2025. What happens next for him?
Wow, that's, you know what, Black? I never really thought about it, because I'll be perfectly honest with you. I'm not a LeBron James hater, but he's never really at the top of my thought process when I'm talking sports, or especially the NBA. I mean, obviously when he first came in, it was a little bit more like that, but I was still, Kobe was still in the league at that point. Some of the other players that I dug were still in the league, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't dislike LeBron, but he wasn't my guy. But you are right. Speaking of which, happy belated born day, LeBron. He turned 41 on yesterday. Another Capricorn in the house.
Wow.
Yeah, he turned 41. Him and Tiger Woods share born day. Tiger Woods turned 50 yesterday. So yeah, another Capricorn in the house. So, but he is really a non-factor. We do know that trade of the Lakers getting Luka, that pretty much was a changing of the
Yes,
guard,
yes,
so to
yes,
speak. And that he's going to be he is the face, not that he's going to
yes,
be. Luka is the face of the Los Angeles Lakers now.
yes, yes.
LeBron is just, I think he's just stat padding now. I think that's really all it is. I know he wanted to stick around and play with his son, Bronny. That's cool too. I ain't got a problem with that. Some people had a problem with how it went down. I ain't got a problem with nepotism.
I didn't either.
I think as any father, if you can,
I love it.
put your son or daughter in a position,
Yeah,
I think why not do that? I get that.
I love it.
Now, was Bronny really NBA ready?
No,
Absolutely not. Absolutely effing not. He was not NBA ready. But I get it as a father. First time ever in NBA history, a father and son played together on the same team. So I get that. But damn it, man, you're right. He is a non-factor this season.
Non-factor.
And I think you see
go
that.
back to January 1, and we on the last day of the year, LeBron James has been a non-factor in basketball. Stephen, you're right. Father Time is undefeated. And if you're a true LeBron fan, Kenny, you're right. You're tuning in for him to pad stats. He continued to add points. Hell, every other month, he's breaking a new record that would probably never be broken or whatnot. Blah blah. So if those kind of things are important to you, but if you tuning into the games, he's not even a factor in the games anymore. Yeah, he's just there.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're a team, if you're
right,
if you're
and again, I think.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
No, you're right, because I think he hasn't even announced, his. Not that he has to. He's pretty mum on if he's going to continue to play or not. So, a lot of times players announce this because they get the retirement tour and the farewell tour. So this season, you really don't know what to do because you don't know when he's going to quit playing,
And I don't believe he's the player that just quietly walks away. He wants the ceremony. Right. He wants the pomp and circumstance. I because of some of the nagging injuries, and to Steven's point, the father time, I would not be surprised if he's waiting to see this is the last major push if he could get close to sniff a ring. But if you notice, since he's been back, JJ Redick don't really know yet how to fit him in. And so I think they are grappling with, do we trade him? Because to your point, if you're a small market team and you're not going to win, but you want to put butts in seats, guess what you do? You bring in LeBron and his son.
Right.
So that you're not going to win, but the games are going to be televised and people are going to show up to see him. And then he can announce, this is my final year. And every game he plays at, he'll get the ceremony that he deserves. Because back to what you said earlier about Chris Paul, they did him dirty. And Carmelo Anthony, I love what he had to say, that how a player of his stature, they shitted on his career.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So that's definitely a good one that I never thought about. But you're right. LeBron James he's really a non-factor thus far in this NBA season. We're not really talking about him that much. Obviously, he missed the first 14 games because he was out with injury.
Right.
But the Lakers are kind of treading along anyway. I know JJ Redick went off talking about they ain't playing defense, this and that, yada, yada, yada. So that's neither here nor there. So that's a good one too, Brother Black. That was your honorable mention. Well, my number one, and this is his second year, and I say his, so you probably know what I'm talking about. My number one on my top sports story of 2025 is Uncle Shay Shay. Club Shay Shay Shannon Sharp had to come off that bag because he got caught up in a lawsuit in April of 2025. Little young chickie said, "You bring me my money, old man." And he had to come off some grip. And not only did he have to come out some grip, Yeah, he lost some money because
Yes, he did.
prior to this lawsuit and them settling, he was about to get a big
Yes,
podcast deal that was people were talking about
100 million.
100 million.
$100 million.
And that went out the freaking window. So Shannon Sharpe was sued for $50 million. He was accused of sexual assault and battery by this young lady. I don't know if she was OnlyFans, whatever. He met her at a fitness center, whatever. And it was filed in April 2025, but he would settle in July 2025 for roughly between 10 million and 20 million. We don't know. He lost he ended up losing his gig with ESPN.
Yep.
He lost that big time podcasting deal. He's still doing his thing on Club Shay Shay and you know, Nightcap, which is still popular, and I watch them both, and I think they still dope. But damn it, Uncle Shannon effed up the bag big time.
Yes, he did.
And to me, that is the number one sports story of 2025.
I love it.
Brother Black, tell me your thoughts on Uncle Shay Shay.
I love it. So for those of you who don't watch me for Real Talk for Real Men, this ventures into my lane. Them nasty, filthy, no good bitches will cost you money every single time. Tell you what, brother Shannon Shay Shay, if you ever find your way to look at this part, I hope that pussy was good. I'm gonna tell you like that. But you's a damn fool to get caught in that web of circle for a young Opay, you know, that caught you up out there. You know, look, don't nobody like young pussy like I like young pussy. But partner, I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't get caught with these electronic devices. I still watch you. Monique tried to tell you, get a woman of your own age group and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, this is tragedy on a whole nother level. This man had made more money
outside of football
in his second life outside of he made in his entire career playing for the NFL. And keeping it funky with you, he was on top. That interview with Cat Williams
that propelled him. Yeah,
I think he's the reason why a lot of these athletes from that moment decide to do their own podcast. Because wait a minute, if Shannon Sharpe, who's not the greatest talker in the world, let's just be honest now,
right?
But he has a personality that shit. If he can do it, I think he ushered in this new era of athletes getting paid at that level. I don't think without him, you have some of these NBA podcasts, NFL podcasts, these deals that were given out to Tom Brady and Tony Romo and whatnot, because he opened the door, in my opinion, and you let a little OnlyFans chick, just because you like to walk this bitch like a dog, dude. The most fundamental lessons that you failed in life, you know, that brothers, you're not even a young dude. You're our age. You know,
he's our age. I think he's a year older than us.
Know better. Yeah. But the more I watched him, Brother Kenny, the more I realized age, they say, truly is a number. He truly doesn't know his value in a lot of ways. Some of the shit he said, it made me realize he didn't understand how to play this game. Look, folks, I beat these nasty 50 bitches all the time, right here across this threshold. They ain't got no proof of it. I piss on these bitches. I put a belt around their neck. I walk these bitches just like a dog the same way too. But you're not going to bring me down. You don't fuck up your money. You don't shit where you eat. Shannon Sharpe, this is a great number one story. And I don't think you ever recover from this. And I understand you like these white bitches. I'm saying it point blank. And don't get me wrong. I like white bitches too. In fact, I like you white bitches a whole lot because a lot of these new white bitches, they got natural bodies and you nasty 50 no good black bitches with these big funky asses, big spider eyelashes. Fuck y'all. But you know what? These white pussies, and they always been sucking good dick. So Shannon, I'm with you with the white bitches, but damn, bro.
Let me say this to those that watch this cast: the comments and opinions coming from my good brother Lee Black are his and his alone. It does not reflect on Kendrick Sports Hustle, nor Kendrick Roland Henderson, nor Kendrick 1969 on Instagram, nor Kendrick Henderson 51 on TikTok or TMG Sports Media. I just had to put that disclaimer out there. All right. So if you guys watch this later, I had to put that out there because, again, my fellow Capricornian brother, he gives it to you straight with no chaser. And that's why I love doing live shows with him. My brother Stephen A. Jackson says, brother Black, you killing, man. My good brother Michael Coleman, what's up, MC? He says, Grandpa LeBron soon to be. Yeah, that's right. Did you hear about that, brother Black? I think
No.
Bronny has a baby. Bronny has a baby on the way.
No. Okay.
Yeah. I think he's dating actor Dondre Whitfield.
Yeah.
I think he's dating their daughter. What's the Sally Ann Richardson?
Yeah.
I think he's dating their daughter.
Pretty girl.
Yeah.
And you know what? I wouldn't recommend he get tied down that quick, but if you found the one, you found the one.
Right. You find the one. Yeah. So you're right. Thanks, MC. My good brother MC gave us that little what we call that? Some entertainment. Right. That I don't really deal in all that. I try to stick to sports.
I keep up with that, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. I ran across that I want to say 2 weeks ago. I ran across that, and I meant to send that to you, and I forgot to send that to you. But anyway, yeah, that's that. So yeah, man, that's number one on my list. But here's some other ones that I want us to talk about. Definitely, this is a big one, and it should be in my top 5. Dallas Cowboys trade Michael Parsons to my Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, we did mention that.
That is one of the biggest stories in the NFL this season. The
fallout from that impacted 2 teams.
It did.
It impacted the fate of 2 teams.
It did, and the thing is, the reason behind to keep it short. The only reason Jerry Jones traded Michael Parsons because he don't like his agent, David Mulugeta. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's basically what it is about. Wow. He didn't want to deal with his agent. He felt like that he don't have to. Jerry said, I can get it done with the player themselves. He wanted to sneak this contract in with Michael. Michael's like, nah, I'm gonna show this to my agent.
Gotcha.
And he felt disrespected. And this is something Brother Brenton always said to us. And he's right about this. The one thing I learned about my Caucasian brothers, they don't like to be embarrassed. Jerry Jones was embarrassed. He didn't want to have to be embarrassed. But what's so funny is I was reading today at George Pickens. Guess who his agent is? David Mulugeta. Yeah. That's who his agent is.
Do you think they keep him?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
He didn't want to deal with Mulugeta with Paul. Why would he deal with him with Pickens?
Me neither.
So I don't know what's gonna happen. But that was a big trade that I didn't see coming. I can honestly tell you that was a shocker. I didn't believe it was gonna happen. Your thoughts on the Michael Parsons trade to Green Bay from the Cowboys?
Look, we could have predicted how this was going to end for the Dallas Cowboys. What we didn't see was him getting hurt. Had he not got hurt, Kenny, I think your team would have went. It was theirs to lose. We have a year now where Patrick Mahomes is out.
Yep.
I don't know that we can truly depend on Buffalo and Josh. He's kind of waffling all over the place. The Eagles, I don't recognize who the hell they are. Right. Baltimore. Your team, the Green Bay Packers, for those, I know your fans who follow you know that that's your team.
Right.
They have it all. And had he stayed healthy, and your boy Love plays better as the playoffs kick in, he literally gets better. So Cowboys, they've had no defense. Folks, we can't blame Dak Prescott this time. Dak played his ass off.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, I'm not a hater either. I'm not a hater either. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Me too. Yeah. You know, they're fun to watch. But we knew that eventually it was going to catch up to him not having no defense, and you trade away a player of his caliber. We knew this was going to happen, you know.
Right.
So I can see that coming a mile away. I only have to be a prognosticator. But yeah, that was huge. You know, that was that was the just like Doncic was in basketball.
Us with the NBA,
that nobody could have seen coming, and it made no sense.
Yeah, you're right, Brother Black. So yeah, and we won't know how this trade. People trying to figure out who won it. I think we really won't know until probably 2 or 3 years down the line
Right.
because the
Right.
from us. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, my Wi-Fi is trying to trip.
Okay.
Yeah, you see me?
Yeah, I see.
You hear me? Okay,
Yep.
yeah, it tried to buffer, but
Okay.
we won't know who won this trade until I would say until probably 2 years down the line.
Okay.
It's coming back. It's coming back. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's tripping like that. It's been all right for the last 40 minutes up until now. but we won't know until I think both teams won when you really think about it. I don't think there's a loser.
You know what? I can feel you. I feel you on that.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys were crazy for trading a 25-year-old all pro at the peak of his career because you didn't want to pay him.
Right.
And now look at what you're dealing with. I don't know if you saw they released Trevon Diggs on yesterday.
Yeah.
And they paid him that money. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But that was one of the other big top sports stories of 2025. We also didn't talk about that big Fox Sports lawsuit, Brother Black. You remember Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, that hairdresser named them?
I didn't follow it anymore, so I don't know what happened.
It's still pending. It's still it's still pending. But Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, who will eventually be fired. Her show was canceled. Whatever the show she did with Keyshawn Johnson and I forgot who else did. But they Fox canceled a bunch of their morning sports shows. But anyway, I think that's still pending litigation.
Everybody knows how I feel about the Me Too campaign. Right. I'm not going to delve too deep into that. I hate everything it stands for. And look, I don't know it. Obviously, that wasn't there when it happened. But I just think when you come popping up with these lawsuits after your career didn't pan out the way, so, fuck that bitch. So, I don't want to hear that shit.
Okay. Well, again, the comments and opinions from the comments and opinions from Lee Black are his and his alone. I must make this disclaimer again. They are not the opinions of Kendrick Sports Hustle, TFG Sports.
But I got one more. I might as well squeeze one more that's related to sport. I might as well squeeze one more for your viewers for watching. Anybody who knows me know that I am not a fan of the WNBA. That was also not in any of our time.
You're right, but yeah.
Because
go ahead.
Here's my question though, not being serious. What happened? The fall off, I guess since old girl, the white girl wasn't playing, Angel Reese with her big wide-eyed ass, wanting to be more of a fashion statement than a ball player. And so these snappy-headed black bitches, you know what I'm saying? They want to hustle and bustle. And so I don't watch these bitches anyway. And so you bit the hand that feeds you. Caitlin Clark had you bitches riding on first class. And now that she didn't play much this year, you bitches back to eating crumbs. So anyway, I don't watch these bitches anyway. And y'all didn't do anything in 2025 anyway. So good riddance to you.
Again, my disclaimer: the opinions of Lee Black are his and his alone. They are not the opinions of Kendrick Sports Hustle, nor TFG Sports Media, nor Kendrick Rollout Hitters. But to be serious about the WNBA, they are in the middle of a collective bargaining agreement.
Okay.
Their deal expired October 31st. I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot about that. So there could be a strike coming up in the next couple of weeks in the WNBA, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So to keep it serious, there could be something not happening. These ladies want to get their fair share of the revenue.
Now that part,
and I don't have a problem with them.
Now that part,
wanting that,
I applaud
because the attendance, the ratings, all
the revenue, the revenue is up.
It's and they just signed a new television deal.
I ain't mad at
Uh,
him. I ain't mad
yeah.
at him.
So that's the stickling point now with that, and so we're gonna keep an eye on it. But I'm glad you brought that up, Brother Black, because
Okay.
I totally forgot about that. That was one of that's a big story. Again, a lot of people don't watch the WNBA. I do. I keep up with it, but I
Okay.
understand why a lot of people don't. I get it. It's an acquired taste. Like I tell people, beer. If you don't like beer, I get it. It's an acquired
Right.
taste.
Right.
You got to find one that you like. Once you do, you're probably like, okay,
Right.
this ain't bad. So there you have it. So, man, so those are some of our top sports stories. But I gotta, before we just get to just doing our freelance stuff, Brother Black, I gotta talk about some of the sports stars that we lost in 2025.
Mm.
And it's crazy. When I looked at the list, I forgot about a lot of these because a lot of these deaths happened at the beginning of the year. A lot of them, if you don't remember, we lost legendary heavyweight champ George Foreman. We lost him in the beginning of the
forgot
year.
about that. I
Yeah,
didn't
we
know.
lost. Yeah. Greg Biffle. If you watch NASCAR, we just lost him, I think, 2 weeks ago, or a week
Don't
ago
know
or
him.
so.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's a
him.
big NASCAR guy.
Okay.
Dwight Muhammad Kwawi. If you watch boxing, he was a
I know
big
who that
time
is.
boxer.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
lost him this year. Hulk Hogan. That was a controversy. A
Damn,
lot of
that's
people
right.
talked about that back in
That's
July.
right.
Baseball manager. We lost Davey Johnson. You probably remember him, New York Mets.
Yeah,
Brother Black,
yeah.
with you being from New York. Legendary Pittsburgh Pirate, Dave Parker. Lost him this year. Ryan Sandberg. The legendary Milwaukee Brewer himself, Bob Uecker. You remember the Miller
Yes,
Lite
sir.
commercials?
Yes,
If
sir.
you're old
Yes,
enough,
sir.
Bob Uecker. We lost him in January.
He had to be
last
old though. Good Lord.
year. I think he was in 89 or 80,
Okay.
something like
Okay.
that. Kenny Easley, safety for the Seattle Seahawks.
Remember
We
him?
lost him this year. Nick Mangold, played for the Jets
name.
center. Obviously, the big story for the Cowboys, Marshawn Nealon. Lost him
Yeah.
a couple of weeks ago. Legendary Hall of Famer Jim Marshall, played defensive end for the Minnesota Vikings. We lost him this year. Head coach Bill McCartney. We lost him this year. Steve McMichael was part of the Chicago Bears 85 team. We lost him this year. Shoot, man, it's so many. Football coach Dick Geron, I remember him. Browns head coach. I'm just going through the list of some of the ones that Junior Bridgman. If you remember, Junior Bridgman played for the Bucks. He became a successful businessman outside of his basketball career. Lenny
Right.
Wilkins, legendary head coach, Hall of
Yep.
Famer. We lost him this
Yep.
year. Michael Ray Richardson, you may remember him. Lost him this year. Gus Williams, Seattle Supersonics. Fuzzy Zeller. Yeah, and the list goes on and on. So those are some of the names of the athletes that we lost in the year of 2025.
You know what's
So
crazy?
again,
A lot of those people were buried. Their deaths were
the
buried
sports
in.
guy with my good brother Lee Black, host of Real Talk for Real Men.
Yes, sir. Well, Ben, thank you
What'd
for
you say,
having
Black?
me.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say thank you for having me for sure.
No, say I missed what you said.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was
I
just
missed what
saying.
you said before you was gonna say that. My bad.
No worries. Yeah, thank you, my brother. A lot of these deaths is sad because they were buried in the bylines behind fuckery and foolishness of the day-to-day shit that was going on in the administration. And so they it's sad because a lot of these deaths were these are, you know, memorable people that we didn't really get to honor. So thank you for mentioning them, you know, so on this platform, because, you know, I'll say this, people know with all my bullshit, the Bible tells us that better is your day of death than the day you were born. And the reason why it says that is because over your lifetime, you build up a name. And I remember you, my brother, always talking about that dash.
Yes.
When our born day and our death day, what do you do with that dash? So thank you for mentioning these people because they led a full life, they made an impact, and it will be missed.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. You know, just looking over the list, man, again, the year went by so fast. A lot of those names I totally forgot that we lost in 2025. So now we can just kind of freelance a little bit. Then we're going to get out of here. We're going to be around for 15 minutes, and then we're going to chill. Okay. Brother Black, what was some of the other interesting topics of 2025 that it don't have to be sports related, just anything that you was like, what the hell are we doing in 2025?
My brother, for me, it's been our president. Let's just keep it real. Let's not sugarcoat it. Coming into 2025, we knew that on January 20th, the regime was changing. And for those of you that may not watch TFG Tonight with Brenton Haynes, part of the intro for his show, we talk about that there are two Americas. Folks, we living in it right now. Now, my brother from another over here, he talks about walking his fish.
And flying my dog. Yeah.
You know, and flying his dog. That couldn't be more appropriate for 2025. And as we carry over in another few hours in 2026, that for me, my brother, has been, I've been on that plane. I've been on that ship, my brother, that shit has happened in this year that has impacted our lives in ways that we can't even fathom the fallout from it. For those of you who don't know, the government lockdown, we're going to be back in the same place on January 31st. It only extended to then. They opened it up just for us to celebrate the holiday break. On another few hours on January 1st, our health insurance is about to go through the roof. Rent, gas prices, food prices, all that shit it's been real. So for me, I have followed politics more than I intended to, because we are on the brink of finding ourselves embroiled in another series of wars. We just got out of the longest war in our history, and this motherfucker done bombed Nigeria on Christmas Day. He's bombing land sites now in Venezuela. So yeah, folks, stay tuned. And so for your viewers, sports is definitely a nice way to kind of escape. But I want also for everybody to stay grounded in the real world. And to your advice, some of this shit, folks, is not our fight. And I don't mean this just for Black people.
Right.
There's things that we don't have any control of.
Right.
Keep your sanity. Be good to yourself as we get down to the last few hours. Walk figuratively and literally into 2026 with your head high, because we survived it.
Already. Yeah. We got to talk about something else too. I'm gonna bring that up in a second. I want to give my thoughts on some of the things outside of sports that I I keep an eye on. My thoughts for 2025, and you know, we talk about relationships, and let me say this: Lee Black, his platform, it's about a lot of this stuff is about relationships, and he and his co-host Tasha, they delve into different types of relationships, you know, what we going through between men and women. But I still see that battleground between men and women, especially us, our people,
right?
When it comes to relationships. And and I'm gonna be quite frankly honest about it. I think at this point, when you get to a certain age, you kind of get tired of fighting with somebody. I mean, it's like either we gonna do this or either we ain't.
Right.
Ain't no sense of fighting about this. If we can't find common ground or whatever, that's cool.
That's right.
Let's just wash our hands of it or whatever. But I would love to see love win. And you, Brother Black, know I say it. I want to see men and women find that companion, with whomever it be, to win. So hopefully in 2026, I'm really doubtful about that. Hopefully we will get more. We won't be at war at each other all the time. But I don't think it's going to change. Do you have hope, brother? Do you have hope, brother? That's what I want to ask.
Well, I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I have been on a hiatus from social media as far as what I need doing my live shows, but I've been posting a few things. I think it'll get worse before it gets better, to be honest with you, because sometimes, Kenny, I think we need to hit rock bottom before we rise from the ashes. And I wish I could tell you that I'm optimistic, but what I'm seeing, it doesn't give me hope just yet. I'm never going to give a complete hope, but no, like you, I'm in this this whatever you want to call it. I don't understand the dating scene out here. You know, look, I run across these bitches every now and then. I get what I can from them. And you know, but right now everything is transactional. You know, I play the hand that I'm dealt. And right now, what's in front of me is I'm with you. I would love to see us win, but right now, what I see in front of me is these bitches haven't fallen from the throne yet far enough to realize that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, we as especially older men, we want peace.
Right.
We want peace. And so we're not going to argue. When you get to a certain age, that arguing shit and debating you, like you said, this is simple shit, really, that, you know what, either you walking with me and we're going to do this shit together, or that's fine. Now, having said that, we all got our needs. So, you know, so free Puffy, free R. Kelly, you know what I'm saying? Because I think they're wrongly imprisoned. Then this is this is Lee Black saying this. So you nasty bitches. Thank God for you, Lady D. You know, she advocates for women. I'm advocate for men. So,
and you, as you always say, this couldn't have happened any more organically than that. You laid it right where I was going to ask you. This is probably the top entertainment story of 2025. The reckoning of Sean P. Diddy Combs.
Yep.
Your thoughts on this whole?
I'm gonna keep it real short. Keep it real short because my opinion may be contrary. The federal government, what he's locked up for, the federal government brought him to trial, and he's locked up for trafficking women. Mm-hmm. If you want to tell me that he is a despicable human being, you might not get an argument out of me. I would not advocate that he's a great person per se, but I will say that what he's locked up for and what the documentary The Reckoning shows on Netflix, for me it was one-sided, and so my thing is I'm okay either way. If he's having to do his time, that's fine. I have no problem with that. When he comes out, like anybody else, if he serves his time, he deserves a second chance. But what you won't convince me of is that Cassie is a victim. I despise the Me Too movement, and I think that it's done so much damage to true, real victims. I don't advocate in any way for what he did to her personally in terms of beating her, but I believe she was a willing participant. For me, Puffy is freaky. He's no different than a lot of freaky people. He's wearing the label of it, but yeah, it's a major story. And I don't feel sad in any way that he's serving time. I do think he's an arrogant SOB, took advantage of his power, all of that shit. I've admitted on my platform that I would absolutely do the same. I do not have nowhere near the riches and power that he has, but everything that he's done, I've done that and more. I pissed on bitches, choked bitches, and I've done all of the same things as well. So these bitches were willing participants, and thank God they don't know my real name, so they can't come out to my black ass. They ain't got nothing to give you anyway, you nasty, no good bitches.
The opinions expressed by Lee Black are the opinions of his and his only. They do not reflect this channel, that is Kendrick Sports Hustle, or TFG Sports Media, nor Kendrick Roland Henderson, nor Kendrick 1969 on Instagram, nor Kendrick Henderson 51 on TikTok. I have to put that disclaimer out there every time my good brother Lee Black he goes on his diatribe. Yes. So anyway, I love this man. Just to let you guys know, ladies and gentlemen, this is my brother from another brother. We are Capricorns. We both are. My good brother has a born day coming up in what, 5 days?
January 5th.
5 days.
January 5th.
He has a born day coming up. He will be turning 23, right?
I'll take it.
Yeah, so I love his candidness. I love his love how he is who he is, and he doesn't know, he's not unapologetic, and you can't help but respect people like that. You may not agree with his opinions or how he feels or how he thinks, but he's unapologetic about it, and I love you for that. I love you for being
Thank you, my brother. I
bro.
love you.
And
I love you.
yeah, sometimes we may not agree, but that's
Absolutely.
okay. I still love you for being you. So that's
Love you the
that
same,
on
my brother.
that. Well, we're gonna ride this thing out to 1 hour and 30 minutes. I didn't know we was gonna go this long, Brother Black, but we just been chilling. I had something else I wanted to ask you, and it just slipped my mind. You didn't go all into your P Diddy. I get that. That was probably for me. I was indifferent about it. I'm like you. I thought what they brought him up on was garbage. I really did. I had more problems with the videotape. The domestic violence aspect of it. That wasn't part of this deal, though. So that I was more upset about that part. All that other stuff, that's just him being a freak and all that. Cool. Whatever you do, you do. If they of age and they willing, hell, that's you. Do what you do. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is where I want to go. All right, we on the top of 2026, Brother Black. What's next for you in this upcoming year, especially for your platform, Real Talk for Real Men? What's coming up next? If it's stuff that you don't want to give away just yet, that's cool. But kind of tell us what's up next for you in this upcoming year.
Yeah, you know what? Having closed out this year and on this hiatus, I mentioned to my viewers that whatever I come back in 26, it's going to be a different iteration of Real Talk for Real Men. I hope that whatever I do includes this man. Let me say again.
Oh, you know it is.
I love this man. This is my brother. Let me, for those of you who don't know, this is my brother. When God closes a door closes, God opens a window. This is my brother. So whatever I do, I hope it includes this brother right here, because I genuinely love you and respect you
too, bro.
And the best friendships are forged out of having different opinions. And I respect the shit out of you. And to me, you're the hardest working person in this business that I know. You're genuine and your heart is gold. So I plan to come back, but it won't be under the same format. 2025 was very trying. And you know this, how difficult it is to do this every day. This is a grind. To put yourself in a position to come up with new content. And it, for me, is what was particularly challenging to try to include multiple people that showed up on an irregular basis. Now, I want to end on a positive note, but I'm going to say something that's real shit that you know. It's sad that this shit is harder than it should be. That what should be automatic support, you have to fight, scratch, and nail for every little bit of it. So I'm going to say it this way. PFG tonight is reinventing itself. I'm willing to be a participant of that. I want to do something with you, but I have made a conscious decision for my peace, sanity, to come back on my own terms, to not have to include other personalities, because the reality is not every relationship is meant to last. Sometimes things expire, and that's okay. It doesn't have to be for bad reasons. But as we close out 2025, there's a lot, people's lives change. And so I do plan to come back. I do plan to come back with a new iteration of my version of Real Talk. I'm going to be my same unapologetic opinion, SOV self, because I have a whole lot to say. But at the same time, my mental acuity tells me I'm only going to include people in 20. You know what? It's about simplicity. And what's simple is fucking with people that fuck with me.
Man, I couldn't have said that no better than you did, Brother Black, because that definitely really is. You went down a road that I already knew, and I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about, because it's tough. This ain't an easy thing, doing this and producing content, and you know, you get support from. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Yep.
But I get it. This is kind of a prelude to something Brother Black and I have been talking about. We're gonna figure out how we're gonna make this happen. I'm not gonna put it out there right now because I know Brother Black is still you in school trying to get so that's taking a lot of your time. But me and this brother, we got something that we're gonna do. It ain't. It's kind of on the back burner. He and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna come, and we'll know when the time is right for us to launch it. But I'm not putting any names out there because I don't want nobody to steal our name.
Thank you.
I ain't gonna say what it's gonna be called. So, but we got a name for it. I ain't putting it out there just yet. But we gonna get it done.
We hope to combine the elements of sports, relationship.
Yes. Yeah, we got a name for it.
Human interest stories.
Yeah.
And the shit that men can't say. Let me say that.
And so it's something that's on my list for 2026 that eventually I want us to figure out how we can launch that. And there's some other things that I got on my list that I want to launch personally when it comes to sports stuff on a different level. And some collaborations that I hopefully I got that may happen in 2026. So that's what I got. But before we get out here, this is what I want us to end with. What is the one thing, Brother Black, that you learned about yourself in 2025 that you like, you know what? I think I'm gonna carry this over to 2026.
Ooh. I guess I was processed in a different way. So I got to figure out how to say this. I learned in 2025 that I have limits that allows me to say, let some shit go. That's what I'm walking into this new year, the next few hours. I've gone through my phone and I've cleaned house.
Wow.
There are people, places, and things that won't travel with me in the next few hours, and I'm okay with that.
Wow. Woo. That's heavy. Man, my brother's walking heavy over there, boy. Good God Almighty. Whoo. You know what? That you're good, your young brother that's only I'm about a year younger than you. That has learned about himself in 2025 and that I'm taking with me in 2026 is it's okay. It's okay not to be, how I want to word this. Just I'm thinking about you. Like how do I want to word this? It's okay to be pissed off about people not supporting you. That's okay to feel that way.
And
that's
to
not
own it.
And to own it.
Okay.
Yeah, especially the people that's closest to you. And just remember the names.
Yep.
Just remember the names.
Yep.
Because it's
we Capricorns, we saying the same. We really saying the same.
We're really saying the same.
We're really saying the same.
Yeah, you're right, and that's okay. And that's not me sitting here crying about woe is me. Why I want somebody like me, like my stuff or shit. That ain't what I'm saying. It's as much as I support others, it's like, where's that support in return? That's it. So anyway, that's what I learned, and I'm cool with it. And I'm in a good place with that too.
Yes.
Now, I wasn't at first. I'm in a good place with that.
Yes.
Yeah, because all the love that I get on from people that I ain't really never met, that takes up for that.
Yes.
So, anyway,
that's where I talk about that God opening up that window.
Yeah, for sure. So that's where we at, man. So again, I'm Kendrick the Sports Guy. This is my good brother Lee Black. Make sure if you haven't subscribe to his channel, Real Talk for Real Men. He's coming with some bigger and better things in 2026. Obviously, you know your boy. I'm gonna be here front and center 2026, talking sports, doing some other things. Hopefully, got some collaborations coming up in the next year. And we're gonna keep, you know what? We're gonna thank God. I'm gonna thank God, the Most High, the Most Heavenly Father, man, for allowing me to see the end of the 2025. And I want to thank him for my children and my grandson and my granddaughter. Let me say this. I got to say, 2025, I was blessed with a grandson, Honest Kwawi Mitchell.
I love it.
And he brightens my day, man.
I love
my
it.
granddaughter does too. She's 11 now. So she ain't really trying to fool with Pop-Pop like that.
I see you, Pop. I see you, man.
She ain't really trying to fool. I love her too. I got to let her know. Pop-Pop ain't forgot about you. You my baby too. But my grandson, Honest Kwawi, he has definitely filled the void for me. And you know, so definitely 2025 has definitely been a challenging year, but it's been a blessed one too. Again, to welcome my new grandson, my new seed, and I'm doing this for them, for my children, for my grandchildren, for them to see, have something, you know, say my pop did this, my daddy, this is what he was doing, you know.
That's right.
And give them something to have, to cherish, and all that. So again, I wasn't trying to get too sentimental, but there you go. You know, when you get to drinking, you get a little bit sentimental. You know what I mean? Especially when you're getting older. Me and Brother Black getting older. So
I'll tell you.
But anyway, again, I want to thank everybody that watched this. Brother Steve, my good brother Steve Jackson, my good brother Michael Coleman. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for commenting. If you watch this later, make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Kendrick Sports Hustle, as well as TFG Sports Media, as well as Real Talk for Real Men. You can find them all on YouTube. You can follow them as well on Facebook. Then my good brother Black said he might be what you say later on. You might
if you up. I'm thinking about coming on at about 11 Eastern Standard Time for that last hour to officially.
11 Eastern Standard Time. So that'd be 10 my time.
In your time.
Yeah, I'll probably. What time is it? Yeah, I'll be up because I'm getting ready to watch this Ohio State-Miami game, brother.
My brother, I think I'm going to hit you and we're going to play a little music and we're going to toast and bring in the new year.
Sounds good, brother. I'm going to let you get to that. I appreciate you. Love you, man.
Love you, my brother.
You in a couple of hours.
Peace.
All right. Peace.
Peace.
Again, that was my good brother Lee Black. And we're going to listen. That was my good brother Lee Black. I want to thank everybody for watching. If you watch this later on, I want to wish you a happy new year, a safe New Year's Eve. Make sure you be safe if you're out there in those streets. If you're not sitting at home, just, you know, kick back, relax, kick back, and just think about how the good Lord, how the Most High has blessed you and your family and your loved ones in the year of 2025. Because again, it's been a challenging one, you know, for all people. It's been challenging. And then, you know, definitely, you know, I'm a sports guy. It's been a very entertaining one with a lot of big stories. So again, I'm Kendrick, the sports guy, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your New Year's Eve night. Be safe, and we'll see you next year. Again, I'm Kendrick, the sports guy. We'll talk to you on the other side. I'm out. Peace.